next hour as well. And John Sopel, North America editor. And the story about ashes. Now, have you got somebody in your area who maybe scattered ashes in a place where they should not have been? BBC Radio 2 online on digital radio and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 1 o'clock. This is Hardy Cook. Theresa May has responded to calls for her to leave office by insisting she's providing calm leadership. Her father has lost his claim for damages against an IVF clinic after his ex-partner forged his signature to have his child. And a group campaigning for global nuclear disarmament has won the Nobel Peace Prize. Theresa May says she has the full support of her cabinet after a former Conservative Party chairman called for a leadership contest. Grant Shapps says he was one of the ringleaders of about 30 MPs who want to see the Prime Minister replaced. He said after a disappointing election result and a chaotic conference speech, her time was up. But Mrs May said her leadership was what the country needed.
What I think is necessary for the country now, what the country needs, is calm leadership. That's exactly what I'm providing, and I'm providing that with the full support of my cabinet.
The backbench Conservative MP Vicky Ford said the plotters were unlikely to succeed.
Grant is completely out of touch with the vast majority of us. And furthermore, I don't think it's what the public want. My email, my text messages from women voters especially saying this is not the time to have a leadership election. We need to stand behind May, and voters are completely dismayed by the way that she's being hounded by the press.
The High Court has dismissed the case of a father who sued a fertility clinic in London after his former partner forged his signature to have his child. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh was in court.
The couple in this case, who can't be identified, already had one child through IVF. When they split up in 2010, the judge says the mother resorted to desperate and dishonest measures to have a second child, forging her ex-partner's signature in order to have frozen embryos implanted. The mother broke the news of her pregnancy to her ex-partner by text message on Valentine's Day. The judge said IVF Hammersmith had breached its obligation to get written consent from the father, but had not been negligent. Although the claim for damages was dismissed, the judge said the ruling must be seen as a complete personal and moral vindication of the father.
UK productivity fell in the 3 months to June for the second quarter in a row. The measure, which is an important benchmark of the economy's efficiency, dropped by 0.1%. The publication of the figures comes as reports suggest billions of pounds could be wiped from public finances because productivity has been overestimated for several years. The Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. In a statement, the group said it was a great honour, and the prize was a tribute to all the victims of nuclear weapons. Here's our World Affairs correspondent Paul Adams.
The Nobel Committee said it was giving the prize to ICAN for its work to draw attention to what the committee called the catastrophic humanitarian consequences of any use of nuclear weapons, as well as for the group's efforts to bring about a worldwide ban. ICAN has only been around for 10 years. It describes itself as a coalition of non-governmental organisations advocating a strong and effective treaty. In July, a legally binding agreement was adopted by 122 countries, none of them nuclear powers. In a statement welcoming the prize, ICAN said this was a time of great global tension, when fiery rhetoric could all too easily lead us to unspeakable horror.
The EU and Russia have insisted the international deal to curb Iran's nuclear program should be kept as it is. It follows reports that the US could abandon the agreement. President Trump has repeatedly accused Iran of breaking the spirit of the deal. A female teacher who had a sexual relationship with one of her 15-year-old pupils has been sentenced to 16 months in prison. Alice McBrearty, who's 23 and from East London, pleaded guilty to 7 counts of sexual activity with a child while in a position of trust. The England and Wales Cricket Board says Ben Stokes will not travel to Australia with the rest of the Ashes squad later this month. He was arrested on suspicion of actual bodily harm last month after an incident outside a Bristol nightclub. The cast of Coronation Street will attend the funeral of the actress Liz Daw at Salford Cathedral this afternoon. She died aged 77 on Monday after endearing herself to millions playing Vera Duckworth for more than 30 years. Ted Robbins, who starred as Brendan Finch in the soap, remembers her fondly.
The kindest person I think I ever met in show business, because she didn't take it over seriously, and she was one of the greatest double acts, I think, with Jack. A really great double act in the tradition of Morecambe and Wise, you know, and Camden Ball, these great northern acts, because she was a strong woman.
In the city a short time ago, the 100 share index was up 13 points at 75.21, and the weather, England and Wales will stay largely dry and bright. Scotland and Northern Ireland will turn cloudy with increasing wind and rain in the west later. Highs this afternoon at 11 Celsius in Edinburgh, 12 in Belfast, 15 in Cardiff and 16 in London. BBC News at 1:05.
Thank you, Harvey. About to meet the BBC's North America editor, John Sopel. His book is called If Only They Didn't Speak English. You can ask anything you want.
Friday, I'm in Love. It's Jeremy Vine here, and yeah, it was the deadliest mass shooting in modern US history on Sunday. a lone gunman killing 58 people and wounding hundreds of others at the Harvest Music Festival in Las Vegas. So gun control is back on the US political agenda. It may or may not prove to be a headache for Donald Trump, a man who once wanted to ban all assault weapons but was then elected last year with the backing of the powerful gun lobby, the NRA. Just 10 months into the job, he's certainly got his plate full. There's the fallout from Las Vegas. There's also Puerto Rico, of course, devastated by the hurricane, doubts over the Iran nuclear deal, and the revolving door among his own staff, plus, of course, North Korea. Meanwhile, domestically, there hasn't been much progress